Hey guys, welcome to another video. We are going to be crossing rotation in this video. We're going to be crossing pressure and basically just how to kill things. I'm going to make this specific to Rated Battlegrounds because the playstyle in Rated Battlegrounds is much different to Arena. Well, basically in Arena you have to focus more on single target and less on AoE, whereas Rated Battleground I think it's more beneficial to focus on AoE, like 80% AoE, well 70% AoE, 30% single target pressure. Okay, and the best way to basically do as much AoE pressure, well, firstly you're gonna need these talents and glyphs that I'm gonna show you. Starting from the most important. The most important, I'd say, is Glyph of Pestilence. Basically, this is going to help spread your diseases further to more people. The more people with diseases, the better. That's the more damage you're going to do. The more damage you're also going to do with Blood Boil, because Blood Boil's damage is increased when it affects a target with diseases. I think the damage is increased by an extra 25%, so that's always helpful, considering you're going to be using a lot of Blood Boils when you're in Battlegrounds. So yeah, Glyph of Pestilence is basically going to increase the range of your pestilence, and it's going to spread diseases farther, and it still actually happens, this glyph, with Rolling Blood. You don't have to use pestilence, it will work with Rolling Blood. The talent I definitely recommend is Gore Fiend's Grasp. Gore Fiend's Grasp, because it's basically what it does is it grips about 4 people towards you, where you are. So it's really good for grouping people up and spreading diseases, as you can probably imagine. It's a very short cooldown. It's just an amazing ability for just grouping everybody up, spreading diseases, and doing loads of AoE pressure. Same time, you'll be slowing everybody with this talent, Chillbanes. It's awesome for Rated Battlegrounds, especially as Unholy DK when you're spreading diseases a hell of a lot, because it puts everybody in a slow. Basically, every time you use Blood Boil, you put everybody who's affected by Frost Fever, which would be everybody in range of your pestilence, into a 50% slow, which is also very, very helpful for grouping the enemy team together, because that's what you want. You want the enemy team to group together so you can do mass grips, you can do Blood Boils up, and you can call for solar beams, etc, etc, because that's how an Unholy DK gets truckloads of damage out, basically by doing a lot of AoE. The rotation I should finally start talking about. The goal of a rotation is to get as much Blood Boils as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to get 4 Deferins up, and we're going to have 4 Deferins up constantly, so we can spam 4, if not more, with Blood Tap stacks, Blood Boils in a row. So definitely open with applying diseases, that's absolutely essential. Maybe a Horn of Winter to generate some runic power. Remember, always use death coils whenever they're available, because they're going to increase your damage a lot, and they're going to get you blood taps. So whenever you get enough runic power for death coils, you just do them. You don't waste time. So open with simply a Plague Strike. I always like to open with a Plague Strike because it gets a bit of damage out as well. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 blood taps. Okay, and that's spreading diseases out. That's great. You spread diseases. Probably not to everybody. If you're lucky, you might spread it out to everybody. But anyway, then you're going to follow by 2 Icy Touches. Right? The reason why is because Icy Touches turn your Frost Runes into Death Runes. Okay, the reason why I don't like to use Festering Strike is because I like to get my diseases out very early, and the more abilities you use, the more runic power you gain. And well, actually below that, because your Festering Strike generates 20 runic power, but you have a higher chance for your procs to occur, and that's why I like using more abilities, because Festering Strike is really rune consuming, so I actually barely use it anymore unless I really need to. I focus more on Blood Boils than Icy Touches. Okay, at this point, getting some death coils in, I've got 4 Deferins right now, and that's 4 blood taps I can just spam like this. That's 4 in a row. I can actually get some more, and basically I'm spamming blood taps a lot. Okay, it's best to get them all in a row, but whatever. But all you're going to be doing really is spamming Blood Boils as much as you can, and then using Scare Strikes and Plague Strikes to reapply diseases. And then if you see somebody without disease and you can't be asked to blood boil, you could just apply it with another plague strike. You can also use Scourge Strike, as Scourge Strike's damage is increased if a disease is on the target by an extra 25%. So if everybody's got a disease, then it's going to be extremely helpful if you're Scourge Striking, because it does actually quite a lot of damage. Just as much, a tiny bit less than Festering Strike. Okay, but I'd be a fool to tell you that that's all you have to do in Rated Battlegrounds, because we obviously have to single target pressure. Best way to get a huge amount of pressure out as Unholy DK, especially in Battlegrounds, is to burst necrotic strikes. You want to get as much necrotic strikes in the shortest amount of time as possible. So you want to at least be stacking 3. You want to have at least 3 death runes up, and you want at least 3 necrotic strikes on the target. Okay, but the advantage of always having 4 death runes is you're always ready to get some necrotics up when you need. Okay, I recommend when you're downing a target, don't do necrotics too early. I would save necrotics to as late as possible and start getting some Soul Reapers in. The later the better, because the later somebody's crowd controlled, the closer they are to death before they can start healing themselves. Okay, there's a macro I just forgot to mention. The macro is only use it for Battlegrounds, don't use it for anything else. Basically it's /cast Blood Boil /cast Blood Tap. It's basically gonna increase your speed of getting blood boils quicker up. But don't use macros like this in like arena, or basically just don't use them in arena, because they can actually ruin your rotation. But for Rated Battlegrounds, it really helps getting loads and loads and loads of blood boils out, and that's what you want to do. So single target burst, obviously you just stack necrotics 3, and that should be okay. Get a Soul Reaper on, reapply some more, and then the problem is now that we've got no death runes, so you simply just have to re-get them. You get your blood tap, and your icy touch, and your icy touch. Scourge Strikes in the middle as a filler spell to generate rune of power, and there you go. I've got 4 death runes again. I can just start bursting necrotics again if need be. Okay, basically cycling between 4 death runes, blood boil spam, and then 4 death runes, necrotic spam, and then no death runes, and then getting the death runes back, and then necrotic bursting or blood boiling spam whenever you want. And that's pretty much the rotation for Battlegrounds. I mean, it isn't much more to it. Just remember to use your death coils and your Horn of Winters. Okay, best time to pop cooldowns is, tested this, it is pretty good. The haste buff from Soul Reaper, I think it lasts 5 seconds. Basically, when you kill a target without the damage occurring, you get a 50% extra haste for 5 seconds after the target dies. Do not neglect that buff, because just because it lasts 5 seconds doesn't mean it's crap. Because when you stack that with an Unholy Frenzy, your runes start coming back very, very, very fast. I mean, like 5 seconds, could be even less. And you go your Gargoyle up as well. Your Gargoyle is going to be like, Gargoyle striking insane amount of damage, and your diseases are going to be diseases are going to be ticking faster, and your runes are coming faster, and you're just going to do a hell of a lot of damage. Basically, I like to save my Unholy Haste and my one-shot macro when I get the haste buff, because it's a tiny bit more beneficial, because I get my runes back so quick. I can just absolutely annihilate people with like a second round of blood taps, and that's pretty much it. So remember to AoE damage as much as you can. Get your blood boil spams up, and then switch to necrotics whenever you need to. Remember, it's like 70% AoE pressure, 30% single target pressure when you need to. When you're calling targets, when you're switching to a target, and then you called it, you're doing your blood boils, and then the target's getting low, and it's necrotic, Soul Reaper, Scourge Strike. We should be doing Scourge Strikes as a fill spell to generate the power anyway. Remember to use Death Coil all the time. And use Outbreak. Only use Outbreak to reapply your diseases when you've got procs. Remember that. Okay, not much I can tell you. Remember, Anti-Magic Shell generates runic power, so that can be beneficial for DPS as well. And yes, that's pretty much all I can cover. Plenty more videos coming soon. I've been a bit dormant for a while. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Ciao.